Hi, I'm Paul Ryan. Welcome to America's Heartland and welcome to the historic city market here in Kansas City, Missouri. Historic because for more than 150 years, this farmer's market has been attracting shoppers from all around the region looking to buy locally grown produce and locally made crafts and items of all sorts. And we'll have more from this location later on in the show. But first, at markets like this, you might find a specialty kind of meat, one that's growing in popularity across the U.S. and has prompted an Illinois couple to try their hand at farming.
We decided to raise Kiko goats. They're a goat that was created in New Zealand back in the 80s and 90s. We chose them because they're better suited to the Midwestern climate. New Zealand is fairly similar to what we have here. They get lots of rain, it's humid, and the goats are supposed to do better here.
And judging from all their activity and healthy appetites, Jennifer Miller made the right choice. Jennifer and her husband Andy raise a herd of some 60 meat goats on Rush Creek Farms near the central Illinois town of Sidney. Lots of farmers in this area raise cattle and sheep, so why goats?
Goats, obviously they're smaller than cattle are, so your working chutes and things like that are smaller. They're not as hard on the ground because they weigh less than cows, so if you have wet ground they don't tear it up as bad. And then, this is the prissy part of me coming out, I guess, their manure is almost like little rabbit pellets, so they're easier to clean up after than cows are.
And they're off.
Favorite part of the day.
Out into pasture.
We're just going to check his eyes to make sure he's nice and pink on his eyelids, and that helps us decide if he needs to get dewormed or not.
Good animal health is important to all livestock operators, and these goats have their own personal physician. That's because Jennifer is a veterinarian as well as a farmer. So the male goats, or bucks, the females, does, and the offspring, kids, have a good chance of thriving. Andy works as a mycologist, a mushroom specialist with the University of Illinois. Both jobs keep them busy and away from the farm during the day, but the goats aren't alone. They are under the watchful eyes of these two fellows who keep coyotes at bay.
They're Bo and Luke. We're big Dukes of Hazzard fans, so whenever we get some animals, from the beginning we started naming our animals after some of the characters in the Dukes of Hazzard. So we have Bo and Luke as our guardian dogs. We have a doe named Daisy and a buck named Uncle Jesse.
This particular breed, the Great Pyrenees, is well suited to the kind of cold winter weather farmers face in Illinois.
Yeah.
When the temperature drops and the snow flies, no problem.
These dogs love the cold weather. When it gets warm like this, you can see them panting a lot more, and they just lay around a little bit too much. But in the winter, they'll go out and lay on the snow and sleep out there. It doesn't bother them at all. They were originated from the Great Pyrenees in France, so they're used to the cold climates.
To fatten the goats for market, the Millers run their goats on pasture, which they whittle down to nothing in no time. They've even considered renting out the herd to neighbors for weed control and fire suppression.
It's pretty squishy through here.
Yeah, it is getting a little squishy through here.
While the Millers come from a farm background, this livestock venture is new to them. They have also been busy on land restoration, improving the wetlands on their property as a habitat for birds, including the rarely seen ibis with its signature hooked beak. They raise their own chickens for eggs and have updated their 125-year-old farmhouse, but it's the goats here that take center stage. As America's ethnic population has soared, so has the demand for goat meat, common in Latin American, Middle Eastern, and Mediterranean countries. And the Millers recently found a new customer nearby in the diverse college town of Champaign.
It's a Greek restaurant, and the reason they contacted us was there were so many consumers coming in saying, do you have goat meat, do you have goat meat, do you have goat meat? After a while, they realized they should maybe be selling some goat meat.
Goat is among the world's most widely consumed red meats. Popular with diners who don't like a gamey taste, goat is low in fat and high in iron. The total number of meat goats being raised in the United States is a drop in the bucket compared to cattle, but if the Millers' experience is any indication, it's a market that will continue to grow.